Chapter 4. How Strong Men Break Without Noticing Mini-hook. It never begins with collapse. It begins with compromise. Not the kind you make in meetings, the kind you make with yourself. The descent the strongest men rarely shatter all at once. Erode. Bit by bit, day by day, they trade self-respect for temporary peace. At first, it's subtle. Skipping the gym to avoid conflict, rewording a message to sound less intense, pretending not to notice her distance. He tells himself it's maturity, it's patience, it's love, but it isn't. It's self-abandonment, rebranded as understanding. Every strong man who breaks starts by betraying his own standard. Not because he's weak, but because he mistakes emotional endurance for strength. The psychological mechanics, here's how it happens, neurologically and emotionally. When you're exposed to unpredictable affection, your brain releases dopamine in anticipation, not in satisfaction. That means the high comes from waiting, not receiving. You become addicted to uncertainty. At the same time, your body releases cortisol, the stress hormone tied to vigilance. Your nervous system learns to stay half alert, half hopeful, a state that slowly burns you out from the inside. This is the trauma bond, not as a buzzword, but as chemistry. Pain intertwined with pleasure until you can't tell them apart. And the cruel irony, the stronger your willpower, the deeper you sink. Because the harder you try to manage her moods, the more your brain associates tension with love. The identity creep, it's not just emotional. It's existential. He stops saying what he thinks, afraid to ruin the vibe. He stops planning his life freely, waiting to see what she feels up for. He stops leading and starts adapting. This is how kings lose their kingdoms. Not to rebellion, but to distraction. Every compromise seems small until you realize your entire life is organized around avoiding her disappointment. He used to command rooms. Now, he checks his phone for permission. The story vignette Michael was the kind of man who made chaos yield. Ex-military.com. Grounded. When he met her, she was vibrant, electric, but slowly, that electricity began to burn. She would withdraw affection, then flood him with it. 1 week, she wanted him constantly. The next, she needed space. He started losing sleep, stopped meeting friends. Even his workouts dulled. His friends noticed first. "You're a different man." He laughed it off. Just tired. But what he didn't realize was that tired had become his new identity. He wasn't tired. He was trained. Philosophical undercurrent breaking doesn't always mean falling apart. Sometimes it means forgetting who you are. The Stoics called this losing the inner citadel. The moment you surrender command of your own mind to external chaos. The man who once conquered uncertainty now lives inside it. He's not enslaved by her. He's enslaved by his need for harmony. The turning point. There's a moment every broken man remembers, a quiet one. No shouting, no tears, just a simple realization. He can't remember the last time he felt free in his own home. That's when strength returns, not as rage, but as clarity. Because before you rebuild your power, you must see the blueprint of how it was stolen. Rule card. You don't lose strength all at once. You trade it for peace. One compromise at a time. Cliffhanger gives chapter 5. Now that you've seen how strong men break, it's time to understand why they stay. In the next chapter, we'll dissect the psychological tests she gives, not to destroy you, but to measure your frame and how failing them cements your fall.